Nightcap with Scone, a show that was born out of quarantine when wasn't nobody doing nothing. So we decided, let's have a pour, let's talk sports or crypto or life or radio or whatever it is that y'all want to talk about, and we will just hang out. So we will do that here. By your request, we continued Nightcap with Scone even after quarantine ended. So we are presented by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. MyCleanLiving.net. NASA technology inside their air purifiers. This one right here is the Air and Service Pro that can purify up to 3,000 square feet. MyCleanLiving.net. GameCoin, the first sports cryptocurrency with a purpose. TheGameCoin.net to learn more or to buy GameCoin. And my girl Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. Y'all look her up if you have chronic pain. Relief is one call away. All right, what a week, y'all. Oh, by the way, as always, let me know what you're pouring. Tonight, I'm going to pop open a little Midwinter Night's Dram from High West, one of my absolute favorites. This is Act 8, Scene 5, as you tell on the label. I've got three different. Let's listen to the angels sing. Beautiful. And I will pour tonight in my GameCoin rocks glass. But we're just going to go neat. All right. Big three. Yeah. All right. Of course, LSU is playing, but this is not a companion show. I must clarify. This is Nightcap with Scone. This is the show we do every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, regardless of what is going on in the world. So, giant week, y'all. Sean Payton, of course, has announced he's left the New Orleans Saints. So the search for Sean Payton's replacement begins in earnest now. I think Dennis Allen is a very obvious choice. You can keep a lot of synergy within the whole organization. If, in fact, it is Dennis Allen, it would make so much sense. Ryan Nielsen could elevate to defensive coordinator. Pete Carmichael's already your offensive coordinator. Mrs. Benson, Dennis Lausch, and Mickey Loomis. You keep so much alignment structure that's already there in place. It makes so much sense. Eric Bieniemy, I would love to see that if that transpired. A guy from New Orleans who has really been at the forefront of this, alongside Andy Reid, the last half decade with the offensive evolution and revolution in the NFL there with that Kansas City offense with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and those guys that are just absolutely in fuego. I've had some people say, what about Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winning coach from, played at ULM, coached high school up at Calvary Baptist. So I could certainly understand that one. Not that really a Louisiana tie matters really at all, but then there's other. A lot of people mention Flores, which look, I think Flores is going to be the most in-demand coach here in this cycle, in this coaching cycle. So he's going to have a lot of options, and quite honestly, I don't think the Saints necessarily are going to be his best option. So, would I love to see it? Yeah, I'd be thrilled. I just don't know if that's necessarily the best option. That the Saints are his best option. So, anyway, y'all know the drill. Fire away. Questions, comments, drop a comment. Let me know what it is that you're sipping on. Would love to know that as always. As I mentioned, if you're just joining, I got Midwinter Night's Dram. This is Act 8, Scene 5. Really a spectacular offering from High West. It is their signature release every year, and I really, really enjoy Midwinter Night's Dram. When I drink Midwinter Night's Dram, it's perfect for a cold night. I mean, it's 30... it's going to be in the 30s tonight. It's 43, getting down to a low of 31. Yes, I am wearing short sleeves, but only to show off the Hudco logo. I am all Hudco'd out. As a matter of fact, we're going to get into our hellos, say our good evenings to everyone here. I am going to, in today's episode, pin the My Clean Living link. I get it. Most people are COVIDed out, but if you're a business owner, maybe you're a teacher, classroom, school, office, your home, vehicle. My Clean Living has so many great air purifiers, again, clinically proven to eliminate COVID and dozens of other pathogens. So many schools and restaurants have implemented this technology. Perfect for your home, for your office. They even have one, it's called the Pet Mobile. It purifies up to about 100 square feet. It's a plug-in. You put it like in your mud room or your laundry room, maybe where you keep your pets, and it'll take odor and all that stuff out of there. Anyway, check it out. mycleanliving.net. Pet Mobile's like $99, really affordable. Okay, anyway. Jeff McKithen will stag Jr. Kirk Taylor. How much Hudco can Matt get? We got the sign, we got the hat, we got the shirt, and Kirk Taylor, you better know this, brother. We've got the jingle.
Someone you know, Scone and Terrio. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364-1007.
All right, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, what's good? Let's see if we can run through some of these comments. Let me know what y'all got going on. Big Christum 24, Little Angels Envy. All right, Danny Braywick. You should be outside, but my outdoor TV crapped out. So it is being repaired right now. So I don't have a TV outside. Otherwise, that would be great, except it is freezing tonight, and I'd rather not be out there. Briscoe, Whiskey and Wine merch for the 2022 season. I like it. We were actually having a conversation today. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this. We're talking about our never too early to start planning. Our coverage for New Orleans with LSU, Florida State, and football for Labor Day weekend. Let me know your thoughts, what y'all want. Thinking about doing shows on site in New Orleans that Friday. Game, or actually, the game is on Sunday. So may have quite an extensive amount of content from New Orleans, if that's the case. Greg T, what's up? Helped 3 friends purchase Game Coin. All I did was tell them to watch the AMA. Let me know what they thought. Everyone wanted in. Hell yeah. Go to the Game Coin YouTube channel. Watch the AMA I did a couple of Fridays ago with founder CEO David Mailer. You'll get to know how awesome a guy he is, how ethical he is, how much invested he has, the background of the project. You'll learn about the developers. You'll learn about everything we have coming. And this week we'll have a very, very exciting NIL announcement this week. Travis Laurent, what's good? Kentucky Mule with some Sazerac Rye. All right, now Randall Matt, I believe if the Saints don't hire Dennis Allen as the next coach, Sean Payton will hire him as his DC at his next coaching job. But I believe Doug Peterson is the right guy for the Saints' new coach. You know, Randall, I look at Peterson, and look, he's a coach that's won a Super Bowl, so it's hard to ignore that. His record in Philly was slightly above 500, and the reason that he obviously had some of the issues was he just had an issue with alignment within that organization, right? From ownership on down. So I understand that's maybe the appeal of the Saints. But I'm also maybe intrigued. Maybe it's one of those things where the intrigue of something you don't know yet, like an Eric Bieniemy, what he could do if he were actually given his opportunity. That's a lane violation. Briscoe, what's good? Alex Day finally caught COVID. Thanks for the entertainment while I'm on lockdown. Well, sorry to hear that, Alex, but glad to be here. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Bryce Burks, what's a good sweeter whiskey in the $25 to $40 range? Okay, sweet whiskey, 25 to 40. Can this team make fucking free throws? What's nauseating, honestly? It's almost like the deal with the devil was, okay, you can be a great defensive team, but you're not going to be able to shoot free. That's a walk. You're not going to be able to shoot free throws anymore. You're going to be awful at it. LSU is 12 of 22 from the free throw line. That's fucking inexplicable. 12 of 22 from the free throw line. Anyway, but this is not a companion show. This is Nightcap with Scone. We do it every Wednesday at 9 p.m., regardless of more thing. The only way any human being could watch this basketball game is if you have a rooting interest. Because this is fucking brutal. This is fucking Chinese torture. Watching, like, it's like waterboarding, watching this fucking basketball game. Because these two teams right now, they fucking have no half-court shit at all. Anyway, but this is not a companion show. Jerry DeLucky, some larceny small bets. By the way, to the guy who asked about a sweeter whiskey, wheat whiskey tends to be softer, a little sweeter. Larceny is one that you can find. Like I would tell you, like Weller, but Weller's just really hard to find. Larceny is a wheat whiskey, a wheated bourbon that you can find pretty much anywhere, and it's inexpensive. I'm not telling you it's great, but if that's what you want, that sort of flavor profile, I'll tell you what would be good. Get 1792 bottled in bond. It's got like the yellow tape around the neck, and pour it on an ice block. If that's what you're going for, that'll be your speed. What do you think about Jefferson's Ocean? Jefferson's Ocean is good. My problem with Jefferson's Ocean is that it is horribly overpriced. You are paying for the novelty of it being on the fucking shark ship and the salinity and rolling around. All it ain't worth $70, $80. It's just not. It's a $45, $50 whiskey. I pay it, but you are paying for a novelty. Now, the Jefferson's Ocean wheated. They did a wheated version of Ocean. And that I paid $80 for, and that was fucking worth it. That's one of the best bottles of whiskey I've ever had in my life. And when Game Coin goes to the moon, we'll all be able to afford as much of it as we want. Eric Wilderotter, thrilled about Converse. Also curious why a 4-year starter would be entering the draft right now. Good question, Eric. And okay. This is the point where I kind of tell LSU fans, hey, pump the brakes, temper your expectations. Because you have to realize, while yes, LSU has crushed it with 12 players out of the transfer portal, you've also gotten 12 players that are good college football players, but not guys that are going to help you win a championship. That's a great point, like the point you just made. All Big 12, 6'1", 200 pounds, going to start at LSU next year. But he's not as good as Dwight McGlothern or Elias Ricks. Those are NFL players. The starting tandem LSU is going to have is Mekhi Gardner and Jarek Bernard Converse. Very good college football players. Not first-round picks in the NFL draft, like the two guys that LSU lost. That's the difference. Bobby Honeycutt, did Will Wade downplay the seriousness of Pinson's injury? Made it seem like he'd be out a game or two. Good question, Bobby. He did. I mean, he did say that it'd be a game or two, and sometimes you just don't know how those things heal. So, Jared DeLucky, Dylan Wilsey. Hey, Matt, was turning Braden Johnson from running back to linebacker a pet project for the last coaching staff, or do you think Kelly's still interested in him as a prospect? Good question. I will tell you that the people with whom I spoke about Braden Johnson, who's from Ponchatoula, by the way. Oh, shit, is Tari Eason hurt? Well, that just blows a donkey dick. By the way, we curse on Nightcap with Scone. That just blows a donkey dick. There's no other way to say it. That blows a donkey dick. Tari Eason being hurt, that blows. That blows a giant donkey dick. I don't want any more part of this at all. None of it. Yes, the people with whom I spoke about Johnson are no longer there. So I don't know what the new staff thinks. Top 5J. I think LSU will be a lot better than people expect this upcoming season. It depends what you think people expect, top 5J. I think Vegas will have their win total somewhere around 8, and that's probably right. Will Wade might have a coronary at 38 years old. Might. Kyle Milliken, Bryce Bergs, Richard Morales. Thoughts on the Saints looking at Mike McDaniels from San Francisco? Not a name I've heard. I think sometimes we have a tendency to like try to outsmart the room when it comes to coaching searches. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. You don't have that conversation or anything like that, but it sort of feels like their list won't get to that point. This team is so bad. God, they need Xavier Pinson in the worst way. Bobby, what's up? Trey Guy, Michelle Moore, what's up from Phoenix? Love these Wednesday nights with y'all. Thoughts on Perkins coming to LSU? So talking about Harold Perkins, and Harold Perkins, of course, 5-star linebacker, decommitted from Texas A&M. I think it is a very safe assumption that there are NIL opportunities potentially aplenty. Yeah, Imani, you left your feet and made contact. Of course that's a foul. What do you think is wrong? I think there are going to be NIL opportunities aplenty for Harold Perkins. I think the allure of LSU, his home state, and making it work with NIL is what likely gets him here. And that's massive. That's massive if they pull that off. Glenn Garner, what's good? Cliff Nelson, what's up? Danny Braywick, too bad betting isn't live till Friday. I would have hammered the under. Well, you could have gone to an overseas betting app and done that, which is what I've done for years. But I will start to use our sponsor, of course, Draftkings. Use the code Baton Rouge, $100 in free bets. Mobile betting live starting Friday in Louisiana. Aaron Rodgers. What's Aaron Rodgers? Matt Bushart, what's up? Elijah Craig, okay. Matt Bushart, do I call roof for soft wash? Yes, Matt. So give us a shout. If you want, we could soft wash your roof and your entire house, even your hardscape. So yes, call HUDCO 364-1007, or you can go to the website and fill out the contact form and just let them know that you want soft wash, and we'll be in touch. Absolutely, thank you. Ryan Thibodeau, once the GameCoin platform goes live, will the public be able to buy tokens directly from the platform? So there will be a DApp portion, and that could be within inside of 10, 14 days. That should be actually really quick. The DApp will allow you, now you'll still have to own Binance, but you'll just connect your wallet. Oh my God, this game is hideous. I can't even watch this shit. You'll have to connect your wallet but you'll just be right at the website. You'll go to thegamecoin.net and just connect your wallet and buy it that way. Ryan Thibodeau, Jason Austin, do you have to replace your outside TV? Not too long ago. So what happened, Jay? Yes. Bought a TV for outside. After about 2 weeks, crapped out. Samsung repaired it. That TV is now in our den. I moved our den TV here into the office. Acadian Home Theater, who's awesome, by the way, came, put a new TV outside, installed it. They did all the work. They hung that one, moved this one, dropped the plug and everything, and did the thing outside. But the one they put outside had this green line across it and down after a couple of weeks. So they took that to go repair, and then it'll be replaced. So it's a bad batch, apparently. Bad batch. The TV we had up before outside was 5 years. We never had an issue with it. We had two within 2 weeks. Matthew Kewen. Matt, I can honestly say I'm a competitor of David's H&O Grounds. Kept with the guy for quite a while. Stand-up guy. I trust the process for GameCoin because I trust him. Excited to see where it goes in the coming years. He's an awesome guy, man. David Mailer is I'm telling you, as stand-up ethical dude as you ever want to meet. Battled a lot of adversity. Todd Marr, what's up? Cody Reeves, do you see Kiffin trolling the Saints? Did not. The plane thing that he did, the plane picture, yeah. Bernard Snyder, would like to see the OC from Kansas City get the job. That's Eric Bieniemy. DeJuan Foster, Rode Yule, come on, baseball season, this basketball team is hard to watch. They so desperately need Xavier Pinson back. Y'all, like, in a way you can't even understand. Well, you probably can if you're watching the game tonight. Darren Gagnon, what's up? February 18th can't come soon enough. That, of course, is opening day for LSU baseball. And we are, by the way, working on having AFR live from the Champions Club inside of Alec Box Stadium for the season opener. We'll look forward to that. We can get it done. We'll let y'all know. Brady Beacom, is the Saints coach going to the Dallas Cowboys? No, he's not Brady. He's not going to coach in 2022. If he were to leave, if you were to try to coach somewhere else within the next 3 years, whoever that team is would have to compensate the Saints because Payton is under contract with New Orleans for the next 3 years. Jonathan Martin, Les Miles telling Jamar he couldn't play wide receiver is laughable. So I'll tell you this, Jonathan. I think that is an enormous example of lazy media and social media echo chamber. If you actually listen to Jamar's bite, and what the question was about sort of facing adversity or overcoming obstacles. He says, when I was in high school, Les told me I couldn't play receiver, but I could play cornerback. So it motivated me to go grind and work harder. Y'all, I had our statistician from Calicut, Mr. David Butler, pull it up. In the state championship game between Catholic and Rummel in 2015, Jamar Chase had 2 receptions for 23 yards. He had 1 for 15 on the first play of the game. And they had 1 more somewhere else in the game. Like, I could see why, as a high schooler, Les would say, I think you project better as a cornerback. And then in his senior year, he ended up with 60 catches for 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns and was obviously a very highly sought after receiver. But that's when context is lost, and people say, "Oh, Les Miles, Jamar Chase can't play receiver." Anyway, Glenn Thomasy, Harry, what's up, man? Where are we? Jason, do you think this team will reach the Sweet 16? Jason, if they're healthy, yes. Like, the thing that's so hard, I think, sometimes, and I know I say this a lot, but you can't see the forest through the trees. It's so hard for fans to pull back to the 10,000-foot view. Do you realize this team beat Kentucky? This team, even without Pinson, went on the road and won at Florida. This team has beat Tennessee by double digits when they were healthy. They just got to get healthy. I think Will Wade said it best. He said, this is a team that we thought would have a great blend of athleticism and skill. Well, our skill is all hurt right now. So we're basically just what we are. A bunch of guys, athletes, running around. We're asking them to do things that they're not particularly good at doing. Now, LSU's already in the bonus with 11:56 to play in this ball game. They better make some fucking free throws. Because if they go and just miss free throws the rest of the way, I'm going to fucking puke on this goddamn computer. Blake Oob, what's up? Gary Petrie, new chair. Yes, a new chair. Not the desk has been ordered. The desk has been ordered, but not here yet. Let's see, South End Zone 240. Do you think Carmichael makes a push to get Joe Brady back on staff? I do not. Again, if all throughout the 2019 season when Joe Brady was at LSU, there were times where Payton and Breeze got asked about Joe Brady, and they laughed kind of like, oh, you mean the guy that used to cut up tape and get us coffee? So I don't think, and then look at what happened to him in Carolina. I don't think that the respect, which many think is really there in New Orleans for Joe Brady, the way fans, especially LSU fans, think it is. Shout out to Hudco, HudcoRoofing.com. Need a roof? Give us a shout. Would love to give you a roof repair, roof replacement, a free roof inspection, soft wash gutters. We do it all. Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. MyCleanLiving.net, y'all. This is the Air and Surface Pro, this black box right here. That can purify up to 1,000 square feet, air and surface, killing dozens of different pathogens, including things like COVID-19, staph, strep, flu, the common cold, odor. MyCleanLiving.net, MyCleanLiving.net. TheGameCoin.net for a sports crypto with a purpose. And, of course, Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. Brandon, good evening. Mary, present? Nope. This game sucks. Like, it is so hard to watch. Like, as a brief editorial, if I could, I mean, it's my show, so I'll kind of do what I want, but this is why people who enjoy the NBA shit on college basketball. The product is so bad. You really only watch if you have a rooting interest, because the product itself is atrocious. The lack of half-court offense, lack of competent ball handlers, missing free throws, it's just bad. There's just, the skill level in this game is almost non-existent. Anyway, okay. Brandon, good evening. Your summary on Bernard Converse, huge get. By the way, Jarek, Bernard Converse, likely to be on AFR tomorrow. He and I were messaging, so I think it's going to happen tomorrow. I love it. I mean, it was your most desperate position of need. You absolutely had to get cornerbacks. You lost your top 4 corners. I mean, you saw Stingley and Flott go pro. You saw Ricks and McLaughlin transfer. You lost your top 4 corners, and you had no experience whatsoever. I mean, Demarius McGee played in 1 game, the bowl game. That's the only experience you have a cornerback. So, yeah, man, you needed guys to go get a guy that started 47 games and was all Big 12. You know, you pair him with look at Will Wade. Will Wade's going to have a coronary. Yes, very good. Vincent Palazzo, Matt, thanks for emceeing CHS. Oh, my pleasure. Catholic High Baseball had their first pitch banquet. emceed it this past weekend. It was awesome. Always nice to be invited back to campus. Randall, Matt, if you look at all of the teams currently left in the playoffs, they all have coaches that are offensive guys. Do you think a defensive guy like Allen could win it all with defense? If you hire the right offensive coach, sure. Yeah, I mean, I certainly think there's merit to that if you get the right guy. Glenn Garner, evening, Matt. I was born in South Carolina, live in Georgia. Always been an LSU and Saints fan. Does that make me a poser like the 49ers fans? I guess it depends, Glenn, because here's what I would tell you. If you were born in South Carolina, you didn't have a team in South Carolina. You know, when the Panthers came along, that was in 95. I'm guessing you were born before 1995. So I'm guessing you had no team to root for there in your home state. So if you're from South Carolina, oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay. If you're from South Carolina, probably a Steelers fan. Steelers fan, Eagles fans. I don't know. So, I just want to turn that motherfucking shit off. Like, it's absolutely unbelievable how bad and incompetent really on both ends of the floor this team. They're athletic, but fuck, they're bad. I mean, I'm trying to think of an analogy for them without Pinson. They're a leaderless army, man. They don't have their floor general. They don't have the guy that makes everything go. You take days off the floor, too. the one-handed baseball passes all over the floor. I mean, fuck. Anyway. Nyquillis, what's good, man? Shut up, big Christum. William Jackson, where's Kane's been in all the NIL circus? So William, Kane's has done deals, but you got to remember, Kane's is everywhere now. I mean, they're in every college town. They're in multiple countries. So I don't think you're just going to see Kane's do deals just with LSU players. They've done some with LSU players. They've done with a lot of players, actually. And he would need stock Chevy wheels with mud grips. Nyquillis, this isn't Facebook Marketplace. Come on, bro. Brett Dagro, how about, let's see. Okay. Keith H., what's up? Brandon Reese, 247 Sports put out their way too early 2022 regular season predictions. Had LSU going 9-3, finishing third in the West. Had them losing to Bama, Tennessee, and A&M. So it's really hard, Brandon, for me to make any type of like prediction for LSU next year until I know who's on the roster. Like, they're not done with transfers. They're just not. They're certainly not done with the roster. I mean, they could add 7 more players, and I think they will. So, yeah, I don't think they're not done. So let me see who else they add, and then I'll give you a much better sense of the roster. I have a hard time thinking that they're going to lose at home to Tennessee. I suppose they could. The Tennessee offense goes really fast. Could certainly see a Bama loss. A&M on the road, I think will be tough, and it'll be good this year. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably their ceiling. They get to 9-3. Jordan Thomas, Matt, what do you think the ceiling is for LSU? I think about 9-3. Ceiling's probably 9-3. Danny Braywick, what are the Cowboys going to give the Saints when they hire Sean next year? By the way, Danny, so I did get this question earlier today, so I looked it up. When John Gruden left Oakland for Tampa, right? So when Tampa wanted to hire Gruden takes Oakland to the Super Bowl in 2002. They lose it. No, forgive me. Oakland, with Callahan, lost the Super Bowl to Gruden's Bucks. So when Gruden left Oakland for Tampa, Tampa gave up 2 1s, 2 2s, and $8 million cash. My point is, if Dallas wants to give New Orleans 2 1s and $8 million cash, okay. Or anybody, okay. I mean, I'd much rather have Sean Payton, but Sean's not going to coach this year. So if he's going to sit out a year or maybe 2 years and then try to get back in, and the Saints get, and that's the going rate for a coach, all right. Myron Spears, Eric Bieniemy, I'd be down with it, Myron. I would. I think there's a degree of unknown, obviously, when you hire a first-time head coach, but the allure of what they've done offensively in Kansas City, him working with Patrick Mahomes, being from New Orleans, yeah, I'd be. Eric Bieniemy not getting a head coaching job, to me, is one of the more perplexing offseason storylines in the NFL in the last 3 years. And I know that there will be a segment that'll say, well, it's racially motivated. I don't know that I entirely believe that. It may well be that he's just a terrible interviewer. It could be the case. He goes and sits in an interview in the front office, and he's just not good at that. It happens. Maybe it's a combination of a lot of things. I don't know. But I do think I'm going to be fascinated. Because he'll get a shot. When he does get a shot, and if it's maybe New Orleans, I'll be fascinated to watch how that unfolds, to see if he can replicate the offensive production that we've seen in Kansas City, if he can replicate that elsewhere. Nick James trying out Driftless Glen Bourbon. Okay. Eric, do you think it matters at all if Joey B sends us our D coordinator in time for signing day? No, Eric, at this point, I think they're pretty well set. Like, if you need to get a prospect on the phone with Matt House, you do it. But, there's enough coaches there. You can watch film and talk to guys about what the expectation is for them. Attaboy, Justice. Nice little floater. Matt, who's kicking 50-yard field goals for LSU next year? Great question. I hope that kid Diebert's up to the challenge. Because remember the other kicker, the walk-on. He left too. Brett Garafola, Travis Shaw, Matt. Most first classes under a new coach are failures. I can't remember exact stat, but something like 7% of players who sign a new close end up transferring. Oh no, Tari Eason. That's a bummer. That's a terrible, terrible bummer. Good on him for trying to gut it out, man. Damn, that sucks. At this point, you kind of look at it and you go, look, man, gut out as many of these as you can. Get healthy. Be healthy in time for the tourney. Rough to watch, man. Days and Pinson both in street clothes, man. Travis Shaw, this class, along with the potential of Perkins, Matthews, 5-star quarterback, 5-star left tackle, absolutely stellar. I would agree with that. Will's got a coronary. I would agree with that completely. Les Miles' first class at LSU, they signed 13 players. 13. They had Perilou in that class. But yes, I would agree, man. They are they're doing work, man. And yes, aided by NIL and transfer rules. That's a foul. You can't make contact with a guy while he's going to dunk. It doesn't matter if he's going to dunk. If you hit him on the arm, it's still a foul. His team reaches a lot. God, they reach a lot. Good rebound, Fudge. All right. This is not, however, a companion show. I just happen to have the game on, and they throw the ball away. Look at Will. Will's going to have a coronary, bro. It's so hard to watch this team. It's hard for me to watch this team. Imagine if you're making $2 million a year and you're watching this team, and like your salary depends on it. And you get a stop on the defensive end, and then you just like throw the ball into the stands. Because you do like a hero baseball pass, and it just goes into the 10th row. And then you don't close that on the three-point shooter on the other end. But this is not a companion show. We just happen to be doing a show, our Nightcap with Scone, which we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central. We just happen to be doing it while the game's on. Okay. Lee Hunter, Ghastly Gamer. Oops, sorry, y'all. That's my spot there. Jerry, wasn't Devin White a 4-star running back? So he did play running back, and Les moved him to linebacker the rest of history. He played running back and linebacker, but basically in high school. But basically, he came as a running back, and Les told him point blank, like, there's Fournette, and there's guys, like, you're not going to play running back here for a while, but you can go play linebacker right now. So he moved. Tazzer Johnson, why would Payton want to leave the Saints? Miss Benson told him to take a vacation. But he's just done, man. Hey, Tazzer, I'm telling you, I'll give this hat tip to Mike D, man. Mike Detillier said this for years, man. I listened to Mike for 10 years on AFR. Tell me Sean Payton is not a lifer. Told him point blank, he's not a lifer. He's like Bill Parcells. Parcells left coach, won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants as a young guy, stepped away, went to TV for a couple of years, recharged, came back with New England. I mean, that's what Sean's going to do, man. He's going to follow that path that Parcells took. I mean, it's just, you can't make somebody do and be professionally what you don't want to be. So he's going to follow his own path, man. And the last 2 years, COVID last year, and then this year with all the injuries and all the bullshit. I mean, the way they had to fight to get to you get a steal, you're leading a fast break. Fudge is going for a dunk, and he gets the ball stolen, and then they get a dunk in transition and push the lead to 3. These motherfuckers. And then Sharif offensive foul. This game blows. This game blows donkey dicks, y'all. I'm telling y'all straight, it just blows donkey dicks. Just blows a giant donkey dick. I only want to look at how many turnovers. 17 turnovers. 17 fucking turnovers. Missed 11 free throws. They've missed 17 free throws. They're 13 of 20. LSU's 14 of 25. These are 2 awful basketball teams. Like, these teams are bad. These are bad basketball teams. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. You need a roof? I would love it, by the way. I would love. How is that a charge? Oh, my God. And now Sharif's hurt. Huh. Put in the kid that they always put in at the end of the game when they're winning that everybody cheers for. Put him in. Why not? Fuck it. Bill Gallion, what's up? John Schwett, what's up? Tyler McGee, hey man, not been listening to AFR this week. I live in D.C. In your opinion, why did Payton decide to call it quits? What's the long and the short of it? Kind of just went through that. Not a lifer. Last 2 years have been really, really strenuous. Just got married a year ago. Some downtime. He'll recharge. He'll do TV and he'll get back in. Matt French, Tuesday morning on Eagle with Condon and T-Bob at 6:30 was crazy. Pretty sure T-Bob cried going back upstairs after that. I don't know what happened. Brady Beacom going to Orange Beach on 2/26 to 3/2. Brian Kelly, Brady used to SEC Media Days in Destin, Florida. He's used to that. SEC Media Days isn't in Destin. I'd love it if it was, but it's not. Lee Saunier coming in late. What about Dennis Allen? Talked about Dennis Allen. He's probably the front runner, the prohibitive favorite to get the job. They'll do a thorough search, and I'll be fascinated to see if they do have if they go a different direction. But Dennis Allen makes the most sense. Y'all have a game coin glass? Someone asked about the Dram. This is Act 8, Scene 5. Act 8, Scene 5 of the Dram. Another pour. Bradley Reed, go get Watson at quarterback. I'd love that, but 2 things. Number 1, what do you have to give up to get Deshaun Watson? I mean, are you going to give up 5 picks, 3 ones, a couple of 2s, a player? You going to give that up for Deshaun Watson? I mean, to get a franchise quarterback in his prime, I would, but you also got to make sure that his legal shit is cleared. If his legal shit ain't cleared, you ain't giving him nothing for him. Charlie Pennison, what's going on? Matt French, when I was at Hocus Pocus this week, I saw a bottle of bourbon made specifically in Baton Rouge. I didn't grab a bottle of it. It was a small bottle, but have you heard of a bird in Maven Baton Rouge? You're talking about Sugarfield Spirits? That might be it. Tyler McGee, Moscona. Payton was our coach for 16 years. Sounds like a lifer to me. He had a great front office. Should have never left. But Tyler, Bill Belichick's a lifer. Bill Belichick's been in New England for 23 years and not slowing down. Sean Payton's 58. 58 and he's stepping aside. Let's see. Shane Duncan, David Wallace, Bill Gallion. Stewart, Saints can do better. Only won Super Bowl in 16 years. Stewart, they went to one Super Bowl, but they went to 3 NFC Championship games. And by the way, in the 40 years prior to Sean Payton, how did they do? 1 fucking playoff win. So, bro, it's hard. Like, your perception is completely warped by living in an era with Bill Belichick. It's really fucking hard to win. It's hard to win. It's really hard to win. He's just made it look easy for a long time. What's up with the suits and the sweaters on the bench tonight? Suits and the sweaters. I know the coaches are wearing the suits and sneakers shirts right now. I don't see suits and sweaters. Suits and sneakers, maybe, is what you're looking at. Jason Austin, Sean Payton. By the way, you can't spell Payton. It's Payton. It actually does annoy me. I shouldn't say that, Jason, but it does annoy me that people still can't spell Sean Payton after 16 years. How do people still fuck up Sean Payton? Somebody emailed me today and spelled Sean S-H-A-W-N. I'm like, it's been 16 years. How can you not spell the man's name? Sean Payton. S-E-A-N-P-A-Y-T-O-N. Sean Payton. It's been 16 years. You see it on Twitter. You see it on fucking TV for 16 years. Never get like, how can people not spell that man's name? It shouldn't bother me the way it does, but it does. That's just me. But it does. It bothers me. Chris Keller, great talk about the MLB Hall of Fame on AFR. Got to loosen the restraints on players. Pete Rose should already be in. I agree with you, Chris. And I think what will happen is the dinosaur voters will get old and they'll die and they'll get out. And the young voters who aren't as impassioned about that stupid shit will get in and they'll vote them in. Nick Bradley Hole, breaking news per Scone's old chair. Scone will be announced as the new head coach on Friday. No, will not be the new head coach on Friday. They pay me to do it, though. Randall, what will the Saints do with Taysom Hill? Remember, Taysom Hill, his contract, the $90 million was only if he played quarterback. The contract, the guarantees in the contract are as follows. I don't think LSU is going to cover the 10. Hey, boy. LSU is going to go into a half-court set. Hold your breath. Boy, Reef? Get the fuck out of here. You get the fuck right out of here. You get the fuck right out of here, you stupid fucking zebra ref. That is the college refs love them a motherfucking charge. That is the most donkey ass licking bullshit ever. He goes straight up, guy flops, and they call an offensive foul. College refs love them a fucking offensive foul. Man, do they love a fucking offensive foul. That is so bad. That is so fucking bad. God, I fucking hate this game. College basketball is so fucking brutal. Like, it is only relevant for your fucking rooting interest. It is such a brutal game to watch. It's the competency level top down is so bad. It's so hard to watch an NBA game than watch this bullshit. It is so fucking hard to watch. Anyway. Oh yeah, Taysom Hill. All right, so Taysom Hill in 2022, cap hit of 12,235. His dead money's 19, so he'll be here. Obviously, I mean, if he's not here, it costs you 19 against cap. So he's there. 2023, his cap hits 12, but his dead money is 6.6. So as the salary cap increases, that number becomes less relevant. So look, if the new coach comes in, Taysom will be here next year. But you want to punt him after next year, you can. It's no biggie. And then it's 4.4 and 2.2, or his dead cap hits the next 2 years. So if he doesn't work out, it's what it is. Let's see. Joey B, 19, bought some game coin for the first time. Took me 2.5 days to get approved to do everything. Will buying game coin be easier in the future? Yes. So Joey B, 19, the more exchanges we get on, the easier it will be. Ideally, we get to the point where there's enough volume and there's enough volume and you're able to get on Coinbase and crypto.com and you go buy right there. So it will be easy. And I'll tell you this too, Joby, once you've set up on crypto.com to be able to buy Binance or whatever exchange you have, once you've set it up the first time, it is infinitely easier the next time and subsequently. Dustin, 29, college basketball is painful to watch. It is. Leonard, Sarasota, Joe Brady cured cancer, ended world hunger, and every LSU third down call he suggested ended up in a touchdown. Wow, big shot in Wani. We are tied. But this is not a companion show. This is the show we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Just so happens that there's an LSU game on right now. Do you feel like Payton turned his back on the Who Dat Nation? I do not. At all. As soon as things got hard, come on, man. Things got hard when he got fucking suspended in 2012. Things got hard when he took the fucking job after Hurricane Katrina. Come on, man. That's a lazy, lame-ass take, dude. No disrespect to you, Taz, but that's terrible, dude. That's terrible. And I've told you, if you've actually paid attention, Mike Detillier has told you for a decade, Sean Payton's not a lifer. He's going to follow the Bill Parcells route. That's what it is. Let's be grateful. This motherfucker was here for 16 years, man. 9 playoff appearances. Jesus, in the history of the organization, before him they had 5. 1 playoff win. He went to playoff 9 times with 9 playoff wins. There's so many great moments. Shit. Perspective, man. Brandon Reese. 2455 Rockstar. My son broke his hand. Went to Brock. Outstanding endorsement. They took phenomenal care of my baby boy. They're the best, dude. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear it. Sorry your son broke his hand. That sucks. But they'll take care of him. Great people. Danny Braywick. What's up? Still waiting on a whiskey segment with Durante. You know what, Danny? I'll forgive you for not being able to spell Durante since he was only here for a year. But still, that's bad. A Ghastly Gamer, getting tired of our multiple scoring droughts. We go through every damn game. Marcus Stewart, Craig Duga. How did this happen? Basketball school to struggle. They cut off the head of the snake, man. You lose your. Okay. That was a big rebound. Give him a second chance. All right, we'll tee you up. I like it. Josh Faust. Matt, didn't you say a while back Payton wasn't going anywhere? No. I've said Sean Payton's not going to another team. I've always maintained that. He was never leaving New Orleans for another coaching job. Because why would you? That's always been my point. See, this is where I will, you can say, call it, get cranky, whatever you want, Josh. But this is the point where I'm going to push back because y'all motherfuckers have selective hearing. Y'all fucking motherfuckers hear what y'all want to hear sometimes instead of actually listening to what I say. What I have said is that Sean Payton's not leaving New Orleans for another coaching job. When people would say, well, he's going to Dallas, or he's going to the Raiders, he's going to the Bears. Fuck no, he's not. First of all, he's under contract. Second of all, it's his organization. Great ownership, all the shit he talked about. Leaving for TV, leaving for front office, we've always talked about that. About he's not going to be a lifer. We've always talked about that on the show. Mike Detillier has literally said that for a decade on AFR. I texted him yesterday. I was like, bro, but throwing you bouquets, man. You've been telling me for years, Sean Payton's not a lifer. That's what it is. That's not a surprise. Yeah, one of your many predictions gone wrong. You know what's funny though, Josh? But y'all motherfuckers, when I get shit right, y'all never point it out. So you make me point that shit out. Where are we? Tracy Poole, Matt Lusto, Midwinter Night Dram, Act 8, Scene 5. Act 8, Scene 5. Kyle Milliken. Thank you, Danny. Replying to Josh. The guy who's most likely butthurt because I don't ever answer questions in the YouTube chat during AFR. That would be my guess. A self-important motherfucker who just needs to have his voice heard. But that's okay. Keep coming back. Make this fucking free throw. I'll make the next one. Brandon, any chance of asking Rock to ease the pain in this game? I could ask her to come in here. Probably not, though. She's probably going to get in the bathtub a little bit. Brett Dagro. Brett said, reports on a weekend rotation. Yes, Brett. Fontenot, Coleman, Floyd. I think that's your rotation on the opening weekend. Barring something unforeseen. Oh, no. Rebound. Got a foul. Fontenot, Coleman, Floyd. You gutted this one out, dog. Fuck, they needed this one. And by the way, game's going to go over the total. Total is 130. They're at 130 right now. Second game of the season that's going to go over the total. But this is not a companion show. Handicast nail Payton before we left. Vincent, I will say, if you actually go listen to AFR from last week, we talked about Sean Payton leaving for TV. And then on Monday, the last thing we talked about on the show was we went around the room and said, do you think he's leaving? Musso and Paul both said no. I said yes. So, you gotta say what the fuck y'all want. Joey Cornett, Smoke Wagon, nice. Craig Dugas, a little tipsy, a little Chattanooga single barrel. Glenn Garner, 115 heaven, I can't do it for you. That's smashing like, wow, 139 watching, and we're only at 59 likes. Can we please smash the like button there, YouTube? Nice. That's ballgame. If you would, YouTube, please smash that like button. I'll grant you, I haven't been asking, but we are embarrassingly low on the likes right now. So if we could smash that like button, that'd be huge. Nice finish. Nice finish, Tigers. All right. That's a big one. It's a big one. Needed it. Danny Bray with Kobe pulls a Dungy or Jimmy or Cower, does TV in the booth, is happy, never comes back. Danny, my guess is he will do exactly what Bill Parcells did. He'll go into TV, and then in a couple of years, he'll go coach again. I believe he will. He'll coach again. I would love to see it go the way that you said, though. Bradley Hawthorne, how much does he call plays versus Andy Reid? Because I always see Andy carrying his chart. That I don't know. I don't know how their structure works in Kansas City. That's a good question. I really don't know. But that's something we'll dig into if he gets the Saints job. Coach O seems like a great cultural fit, right? Coach O and Johnny Jones, the two best cultural fits, Smoke Laval, in the history of LSU athletics, and they all sucked. All right. That's a nice win for the Tigers. Needed it. God, they needed it. Kenny Futch, Nick Ingragolio, Troy Abear. Mike Glorious said Payton had a deal in place with Dallas after the Nola no call. Florio, yes. Yeah, I saw that. We talked about that on AFR. Glenn Garner, you are like drugs to a junkie, just can't turn you off. I guess that's good, Glenn. Thank you. Scotty Adams, McGiblets 82, little monkey shoulder. Wait, I must have missed a bunch of comments. My bad, y'all. Where are we? Here we are. Troy Abear, Buccaneers gave Arizona a 6th-round pick because he had stepped down, was still under contract. That is kind of compensation I expect for Payton. Gruden was still coaching. Oh, you're talking about Arians. Yeah, I don't think the Saints would let that happen. Not Sean Payton for a fucking 6th-round pick. I don't think so. Let's see. William Laws met and talked to a former LSU assistant and was surprised how pro Coach O he was. That's great. And some were not. I would say, you know what I would tell you, William? That's similar to like any, put it this way. This is a better analogy that we can understand. Teachers. You're a teacher for 30 years and you have a different group of 100 students that come in every year. And so you teach thousands of students over the years. You can find students that say, she was awesome, he was awesome, best teacher I ever had. And you can find people to be like, worst teacher I ever had, hypocrite, awful, would never, you know what I mean? Same with coaches. When you have that many players or staff members, I mean, the amount of conversations I've had with people that inside the building that just shake their head at Ogeron, like total disaster, inability to manage, on and all the stuff that we see manifest. But you can find people that like him too. Gave him a shot, gave him a job, whatever. But ultimately, the results are what they are. That's what matters. The results were not good. Where are we? Troy Abear. Eric Bieniemy is like Carmichael, an OC working behind an offensive mastermind. He needs to go call plays, be a defensive-minded coach. But then Danny Braywick said, let's see, I think Eric Bieniemy might call plays. Does Eric Bieniemy call plays? Let's see. Well, I'm looking at reports here that say he does call plays. See, that'd be interesting. So this one says Bieniemy has demonstrated he has called plays, but what their structure is unclear because there's times when Reed calls plays. Well, I don't know. That would be interesting to know how they actually do that, right? How they function. I don't know. I don't know how they function. Let's see. Vincent Palazola, glad I don't have to hear T-Bob on this companion show. Vincent, it's not a companion show. All right. Good. Thank you so much for smashing the likes. Now we're at 96. We're almost to 100 likes. Thank you all so much for watching, for smashing the likes. If you're just joining, I'm sure a lot of people maybe were watching the basketball game. This is not a companion show. This is Nightcap with Scone. We do this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. regardless of who's playing. We've been talking primarily football. It just so happens that there was a basketball game on, but this is not a companion show. We're brought to you by Hudco Roofing. I would love it. I would be sincerely grateful if at least one person, like seriously, I would be sincerely grateful if from this show, of the 162 on YouTube, the 68 there on Facebook, so the 230 ish that are watching right now, if somebody would go to hudcoroofing.com, I'll even post the link. If somebody would go there and would fill out the contact form and request a roof inspection, it'll take you less than 60 seconds. Name, address, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, and we'll come do a roof inspection. And more importantly, I'll tell you this more importantly, if you had hurricane damage, say due to Ida, you've already called your insurance company and you have your scope of work, like you have your insurance approval for a roof replacement, give us a call. That's your golden ticket, bro. You've got that, boom. You pick out shingles, we are re-roofing your home within 2 weeks if you have that. Boom, hudcoroofing.com. Give us a shout. Where are we? Oh. Let's see. Richard Bordelon, got your little Weller Antique. All right. Hey, Gwen Ensminger, Chris Keller, Lane Ward, Lee Saunier. What's up, y'all? Earl Lytle, Matt. How are we looking at middle relief and closer for our Tigers? So, closer, I think you're going to see Razelman as the guy to start the season. Transfer from San Francisco, throws 100, upper 90s. Middle relief, lefty from named Riley Cooper. He's a transfer in from Arizona, came with Jay Johnson. I think you're going to see Schaefer, another lefty who was who transferred in from Southeastern. That's where you can expect to see Mikhail Hilliard, Blake Money, Vittmeyer's back. You got a lot of arms, man. This team has a lot of arms. Garrett Edwards, you got a lot of arms. The real challenge for this baseball team is going to be for Jason Kelly, the new pitching coach, to figure out roles on this team. Pedro Barreras. They pulled it off, Matt. Grind to the end. Hope Pinson will be back next game. Listen, I'll tell you this. Saturday they play at TCU in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. I don't give a shit about that game. I'm dead serious. Don't care. Everybody that's hurt, rest them all. That game is so fucking irrelevant. I can't even begin to tell you. You need SEC wins. You have got to go on a run in this SEC, in this stretch of SEC games. I do not give a rat's ass if they win against TCU on Saturday. I mean, honestly, Eric and I are going to New Orleans for the Pelicans game on Saturday. What time do they play TCU? They got an early game, don't they? It's 11 a.m. Okay, so I will watch it. But I don't care. Next week, on Tuesday, you play Ole Miss at home. Ole Miss is dog shit. You got to win that game. You're at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's dog shit, but that's a tough place to play. You got to win that game. You're at A&M. A&M's not good. Get healthy, you dominate that team. You're home against Mississippi State. Ben Howland's got them playing pretty well, but you should win that game at home, especially if healthy. You're home against Georgia, the ass crack of the SEC basketball. You win that game. You're at South Carolina. Ugly team, can't score. You should win that. My point is, you have a chance now to string together wins. I don't care if you beat TCU. You beat A&M tonight. Go win your next 6. Ole Miss, Vandy, A&M, State, Georgia, South Carolina. Win those 6. Then you're sitting there at 10-4 in the league with Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, Bama remaining. Beat Missouri at home, beat Missouri and Bama at home, split the road games, go 3-1. You're 13-5 in the league. Probably not going to win you the league this year, but with your resume, you'll settle in as a 3 seed. Down. Let's see. David Tolson, what's good? Alex Gonzalez, what's up? David Wallace. If Payton goes into coaching while still in Saints contract, there should be good players coming to New Orleans. Well, you definitely get assets for it. Stuart Wright Meyer. Teacher comment is a great analogy, but Payton, I still don't understand why so many fans are so complacent with one Super Bowl in 16 years. Stuart, because that's not acceptable for LSU fans. Stuart, because the NFL and college football are not the same thing. Like, do you realize the Cleveland Browns have never won a Super Bowl? Ever. The Detroit Lions have never won a Super Bowl, ever. I mean, Jacksonville, Carolina, they've only been in existence since 95, but I mean, trying 30 years, almost 30 years now, they've never won a Super Bowl. Fuck, man, it's hard. I mean, the Chargers haven't been to one since 95 when they lost to the Niners. It's hard, dude. Like, it's really hard. That's the crazy thing is, like, when you have that much sustained success, you change the culture, you change the expectations to where people think, oh, well, this is easy. It should happen all the time. It's fucking hard, dude. Nick Bradley Holt. In the last 20 years, which college player who played for another team would you have loved to have played for LSU? Tim Tebow. Easy. Tim Tebow's the best college player of the last 20 years. I mean, for all you want to say about him as a baseball player or an NFL player, pro quarterback, whatever, as a college football, he's the most dominant college football player of the last 20 years. That's easy. Justin McVicker, you had any complaints with the show pausing? Hey, if that happens to you, Justin, if you're watching on a mobile, tap your screen and just hit like the 10-second back button. A lot of people say that fixes it if you have that issue. Matt, I'll be calling Hudco for the soft wash. Support you and a lifelong friend, The Ride. Very good. I appreciate that very, very much. Thanks, Matt. Clifford Moore, Jason Austin. Doesn't LSU have a bunch of lefties now that can throw major heat? So, I don't know if I would say major heat, but Schaefer from Southeastern, he's a lefty. Kid from the transfer, Riley Cooper from Arizona, is a lefty. Javen Coleman is a lefty. So your rotation, if you go Fontenot, Coleman, Floyd, you go righty, lefty, righty, which I like. So I don't know if major heat is the way to say it, but you have arms. Gwen, so proud LSU gave nephew Tyler McManus his senior year. So that's your nephew? The catcher, McManus? He's going to start. They're expecting him to hit 15 homers, too. Blake Money, that's going to be a sound drop for baseball season. Blake Money's also lost like 40 pounds. Did you see pictures of him from the first pitch banquet the other night? Crazy. Matt, Draftkings promo. Yeah, Draftkings. So mobile betting live in Louisiana starting Friday at 8 a.m. Download the Draftkings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge, one word, Baton Rouge. And you get $100 in free plays. But you got to download and use the code before they go live. If you do that, when they go live, you'll have $100 in free plays. Let's see. Stewart, Matt, the Razorbacks have never won a natty in football, so no, it's not hard. If you're worth a damn, you can get it done. Actually, very hard. I would say it's harder. Well, it's just different. College is so hard because it's so arbitrary. You don't have the opportunity. What a huge block by Gaines. You don't have the opportunity in college to play in a tournament. Like, you have to be gifted a spot in the Final Four by a committee. Darren Straub, you betting on Cincy or KC? Look at the line. I think Kansas City is going to win the game. As much as I hate to say that, I will be pulling very hard for Joey B and the boys. But and if KC wins, awesome. I'd be pumped for Clyde and for Darrell Williams and for Tyrann Mathieu to go back to another Super Bowl. I don't know how I feel about the spread. That's just a lot of points, especially against a team like Cincy that can score. And they just played at Week 17. They played a 34-31 game that Cincinnati won in Cincy, by the way. But I don't know, man. I haven't really made a decision on the spread on that one. I'm inclined to take KC at home. I am. Because, man, if that... Here's why. Here's my primary reason why. You have to tell me I'm wrong, but here's my reason why. Burrow got sacked 9 times by Tennessee. Tennessee's offense wasn't good enough to capitalize on the field position, etc. Kansas City's will be. And that's the danger. If they can't block Chris Jones, if they can't keep Burrow upright against Kansas City, Mahomes and that offense are just going to make him pay for the short field and everything. What if you have a strip sack, that sort of, that's the problem. That's the problem. Anyway. Thomas Lee, Matt, do you think we're getting Caleb Williams? Thomas, I don't know if you saw this, man. I saw today on Twitter, and I don't. First of all, do I think LSU getting Caleb Williams? No. I've always assumed he's going to USC. But I saw Billy Embody and On3 Sports tweet that he's going to Minnesota. That Minnesota emerged as the leader for Caleb Williams, which I have no fucking clue how that's the case. Why? Not Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Badgers. Why in the world would that kid go to Wisconsin? I don't know. I mean, previously they had reported LSU and USC were his final 2, and now they're saying Wisconsin is the landing spot, which is so weird. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. No clue. No clue about that one. Let's see. Devin Kelly having breakfast for dinner. I love breakfast for dinner. But I love me some breakfast for dinner. Eggs, bacon, biscuits. Now, I wouldn't drink milk. I wouldn't go milk. I would probably go like orange juice. But yeah, Devin, I'm with you, bro. I love breakfast for dinner. Dude, when I was a kid, Mom would make breakfast for dinner. I'd be all fired up about that. Tramal, Kellett, Scone, who would you like to see as the Saints next head coach? I would say Dennis Allen or Eric Bieniemy. I would say one of those two. Let's see, Devin, are you ever going to answer my question about Old Elk Small Batch Sour Mash Reserve? Have you ever had it? If so, did you like it? I haven't had it, Devin. Well, I thought I had every Old Elk there was. Small Batch Sour Mash Reserve. Shit, dude, I thought I had it all. I guess I hadn't. Let me know how it is, dude. Or give me a pour. I'd love to. Let's see. Is Sean Payton headed to Dallas next year? No, I think Sean Payton will be in a TV booth next year. Mike Tomlin is a lifer. I don't know about Mike Tomlin. I genuinely don't know. He's a phenomenal coach. I don't know if he's a lifer. I heard to see Jermaine Burton go to Bama. A Louisiana guy, right? Yeah, but I look at that and I go, all right, you're at Georgia. You're the number 2 receiver at Georgia. You just won a natty. Are you going to Bama? Crazy. But I mean, I get it from this standpoint. You just watched what happened at Bama, right? You just watched Jamison Williams transferring from Ohio State, and in 1 year go from buried on the depth chart at Ohio State, buried. They're number 3 to the guy at Bama in a first-round pick. So I guess I get it. And then you know who you're catching balls from next year. You're catching balls from Bryce Young at Bama. Would you rather catch balls from Bryce Young or Stetson Bennett? I don't know my answer. It's wild no one remembers how bad it was prior to Payton. So true, Kenyon Hudson, so true. But that's the benefit of someone who comes and changes the culture. You want that. You want that to be the expectation. Why doesn't Payton take a low-stress front office position with the Saints so he can get back in with the Saints when he's ready to coach again? Because what if the opportunity isn't there? Or what if you hire Dennis Allen, he does great, and Sean Payton wants to get back in a year or two, and the coach you have isn't leaving? And he said, I'd like to try TV. He said in his press conference, point blank, I would like to try TV. Okay, go try TV. Matt, share some of the thoughts on the steroid boys. Let's out of the Hall of Fame. Hey, Roy, if you want, go listen to AFR today in hour two. The start of hour two, that was at 4 p.m. We had a baseball Hall of Fame writer on the show, and he was he's never voted for the steroid guys. And he and I disagree completely. It was interesting to hear his perspective, but I share mine too, which is I just think there's a tremendous amount of hypocrisy from the Baseball Hall of Fame, which he even pointed out is a museum where they have a lot of the memorabilia and exhibits of the steroid era guys. And my point is, how hypocritical to have displays of the steroid era players, but you won't allow them into the hall as members. I just think that's embarrassing. But what is interesting is in Bonds' first year, he got like 30% of the vote. This year, he got 66% of the vote. So what you've seen is a lot of younger, like older curmudgeon baseball writers have retired or gone. They've lost their vote, and as the age has averaged down, you've seen Bonds get more of the vote. So I think in time, all the steroid guys will get in by the Veterans Committee. Oh, I'm just getting to the point about the where I was cursing about the end of that game. Kyle Skynes, did you read the report by Florio that Payton was trying to leave for the Cowboys in 2019? Yeah, talked about it on AFR yesterday. Tracy Poole, what's up? Dylan Wilsey, what do you think happens to Ian Book in the next few years? Figured it was another Payton experiment. The interesting thing about Ian Book is they kind of Sean saw him in the Taysom Hill role of an athletic quarterback that could do multiple things. I don't believe Ian Book is ever, well, let me not say that. Because I don't think he'll ever be a starter. I don't know. I don't know if he ever will be. I don't think he will be next year. And I think a new coach coming in should have the autonomy to do what he wants and will. Let's see. Smash that like button, y'all. I love it. We're at 125 likes, 163 watching. They're on YouTube. Still 52 hanging out with us. Jason Austin, what happens with Payton's contract? He's under contract with the Saints for 3 more years. So he's under contract. So if he wants to coach somewhere, wherever he wants to go, they would have to compensate the Saints to let him out of the contract. Ooh, Stephen Fry, fluffy pancakes drenched in syrup and butter for dinner. Yeah, I'm with it. Aaron Hornsby, what's good? Stewart, what's up? You're saying it's harder on college, and Sean won one in Super Bowl in 16 years. I'm not saying it's harder. I'm saying it's different. And to say the Saints can do better, I just think it's so naive and so short-sighted. I mean, the Green Bay Packers have had 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play with Favre and Rodgers back-to-back, and they got one with each. It's fucking hard, dude. It's hard. Like, your brain is completely warped by watching Tom Brady do what he's done, living in this era. Vincent, I hope Father Phil doesn't listen to Nightcap. Yeah, I've said this before, Vincent. When we have priests that do, if I'm going to hell, it's not going to be because I curse. Randall Offrecht. Matt, do you think Sean Payton could coach against the Saints and all the players he coached and drafted? Yes. The GOAT, what's up, Matt? What's the drink tonight? Midwinter Night's Dram. Act 8, Scene 5. Had 2 pours, that's enough. Facts, Matt. College basketball is annoying because of the charge calls. The NBA is set up for the large market domination. NFL is the best setup. College basketball is just a bad product. It just is. I mean, you don't have great shooters. You don't have great skill. By and large, guys that are skilled players are one-and-dones. That's why they go to the league after 1 year. So you don't have guys that stay, and stay 4 years and are really just good college basketball players. You don't see great half-court offenses. It's just not a good game. It's just not. The quality of playing college basketball has just completely evaporated in the era of the one and done. So it's just especially when you watch the NBA. I get it, not everybody here loves the NBA. I prefer the NBA to college basketball. NBA is fascinating. It's so fun. I mean, it's jaw-dropping, the skill level at that, the size, the speed, like how effortless they make it look is incredible. And everything in this is painstaking. It's a hard game to watch. It's just, you watch because you love your team. You have an emotional connection with your team. LSU hasn't won since I got my boot up hoodie. I'm about to burn this thing. Don't burn it, Brett. It has nothing to do with your hoodie. Michael McNett, what's up? Running out of makers. Anybody want to help a brother out? Just go to the store, dog. Let's see. Ramsey Wars. Matt, love your show. Where do you think the Vikings coach Zimmer ends up this year? I have no idea, man. Shoot, I'd love to see him in New Orleans as a DC, potentially. But I don't know. I don't know if he'll have another opportunity as a head coach right away. Nick Ingargiola. People really forget what it was like to have the Blackout Saints games. Blackout Saints games, the Aints, bags on your head. Yeah, pros. I remember. Troy Bienemy. I love how these people know exactly what my brother does for the Chiefs. Well, that's cool. I wonder if that's really your brother. If you just created an account that says Troy Bienemy. I wonder if that really is Eric Bienemy's brother. If you are, shed some light. I'd be fascinated. We were talking about that earlier. I think Eric Bieniemy not getting a head coaching job in the last 2 years has been really surprising to me. I know there's a lot of people that will say it's a racially motivated decision. I don't know that I 100% believe that. Like I say, it has nothing to do with it. I don't know if he's a bad interview or what. I don't know. I just don't know. But I will be fascinated to see how he does, if he can sort of replicate the special sauce that they found offensively in KC somewhere else. And I'd love to see it in New Orleans. But I don't know. We were talking about that earlier, if he calls plays. And I think there's a lot of like different differing reports on that. So I'd be really interested to know how that structure is. I don't know if that's actually Eric Bieniemy's brother. I really don't know. But I would really be interested to know how that structure works. Troy Bear. Scotty Adams, so inconsistent. Oh man, I lost my spot. Gosh, dog it. Sorry, lost my spot. Boy, there's a lot of comments here. Oh man, I have a lot of comments. Oh, Jesus. Oh God. Oh, really far back. All right, I need to go a little faster. I was like really, really far behind on comments. All right, I'm going to scan to try to catch up a little bit. All right. Is it possible basketball refs aren't against LSU? They're not against LSU. LSU makes stupid fucking fouls, and refs are just bad at their jobs. Simply Tyler Vods. If we sign Bieniemy, I'm worried he'll change the entire coaching staff. You know what, though, Tyler? I don't think you worry about that. Like, I would very much be okay with Dennis Allen because I think he has the potential to be a really good coach. I think he went to an awful situation in Las Vegas. Oakland. I think as a second go round, he'd do much better. I like the idea of keeping the structure in place. I like that a lot because you have a good thing. But I'm not scared about the idea of bringing in somebody new. Troy, I can without a doubt tell you he calls plays. Well, that's cool. It's good to know. Do you do roof inspections in Alaska? No, Joe, we don't. Sorry. Michael Daigle, Eric Bieniemy is Matt Nagy fired after 3 to 4 seasons. Look, the reality is, Michael, that that's most coaches. I mean, if you're just playing odds, that's likely what would happen. Because most coaches don't last beyond 3 seasons. It's such an immediate results-driven business. And look at Brian Flores. Fucking guy had a winning record. They fired him. I mean, it's crazy. So, I mean, I think people just lose sight of what happened in New Orleans with Sean Payton for 16 years is the exception. It's an outlier. It's not the norm. Would you be worried about not being able to get a quarterback if Carmichael's called plays? Pete Carmichael called plays for a good while in New Orleans. I mean, he and Sean altered every year where Pete Carmichael called plays. Matt, would you share some thoughts on steroid? But talked about that. William Laws, Joe Delmonico. Glad you didn't do this companion show. I have to tune in to Chris Blair. Stop. Scotty Adams, sit enough. Players Saturday, get healthy. Parker Edwards, Macy playing time. Do you buy into the rumor that Woodward discovered in 2019 something bad was brewing with Ogeron? As a result, influence extension and a big buyout? Why would he give him the big extension if he knew that there was something bad coming? That doesn't make sense. LSU Sway, what's up? Name every team to win one Super Bowl since 2009. Good point. Green Bay in 10. Well, the Giants won it in 11, but they had won one in 7 also. Ravens. Seattle. Well, New England won it, but they won multiple. Denver. Kansas City. Eagles. Tampa. Let's see. LSU Sway, you think crypto will dip again when it gets some more GMEX? Look, man, buying right now is buying the dip. Could we be headed lower? Maybe. But the thing I'll tell you with Gamecoin in particular is we're obviously tied to the price of Binance coin. So as Binance goes, in many respects, we will go also. So, Gamecoin holds about 5,000 Binance in our liquidity pool. So think of it this way. Binance has seen about a $300 per token drop since the end of November. When you have 5,000 Binance coin and it's dropped $300 per coin, that's $1.5 million in liquidity. That's the equivalent of a $1.5 million sell-off of Gamecoin, based on nothing we've done, just on Binance coin dipping. So while that sucks, the good news is, Binance is going to moon again, like it's going to hit its all-time high and dust it. But just got to be patient. Just got to be patient. Okay. We might be about done, y'all. It's 11 o'clock. Miss Jalen Cook on this team. That's a good point, Vincent. But then again, would you take Jalen Cook or Xavier Pinson? I mean, Pinson's a little bit better offensively as a creator. But Jalen Cook, by the way, is Game Coin Ambassador athlete Jalen Cook. Brenner. That's breakfast dinner, yes. Trivia. Matt, you forgot to say the bitch-ass Falcons never won a Super Bowl. That's true. The bitch-ass Falcons have never won a Super Bowl. Great point. I just tend to ignore them about all things. Jackson Carter, what's up? Quandre, I'm cool with whatever he does as long as he doesn't coach the Cowboys. Michael Daigle, did Taylor say how much raffle tickets are? We didn't talk about it, Michael, but I think they're usually $10 a ticket. I think maybe you can get like 25 for 200 or something like that. Should the Saints trade for Kyle Trask? Get the fuck out of here. Matt, does the baseball team repeat as midweek champions of the world? Yo, crazy. Troy Bienemy, why would I lie about that? I don't know, because people make up stupid shit on the internet all the time, man. I believe you, but people make up stupid shit all the time. I've seen some Saints fans talk about Harbaugh as an option. Would you be good with that? I mean, Brandon, Jim Harbaugh has won everywhere he's been, and he did get San Francisco within a play of winning the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I would. I think he's won everywhere he's been. Yes, I think he would do great. Troy, see, Matty's not in a hurry to leave Kansas City for a bad situation. Well, that's good to know. I mean, that does explain why Bieniemy would stay put. Like, if he knew he could be picky and choosy and pick a good job. But that's we had that conversation today with Sean Salisbury, where I asked him, I was like, how good is the Saints job? And quite honestly, without Sean Payton, it's not as appealing to one of the big name quarterbacks. And without a quarterback, I don't know if the Saints are as appealing to a potential head coach. They got a really good roster if you can figure out quarterback. And you're in a division with the Falcons and the Panthers that are very good. They got the Bucs to deal with if Brady comes back. But if Brady leaves, you're talking about Kyle Trask. I mean, very winnable division next year for the Saints. Ryan Bigham, why would Dennis Allen not be a good choice? Good question. So I would say because he failed in his other head coaching opportunity. If you're looking for the devil's advocate viewpoint, been a head coach once before, didn't succeed. Also, as many have pointed out, most of the seemingly successful head coaches right now are offensive minded. He's a defensive minded guy, so could that work? I think that's probably what you'd look at. Joe wrote, Dennis Allen would be my pick. How often do you get to promote a guy with head coaching experience? It's so true, Joe wrote, and mostly because coaches don't exit, like they get fired. So it's rare that you would be in a situation where you'd feel comfortable promoting a guy from within. Clint, what's up? Edward O. Niner Gang, what's good? Glenn Garner. Matt, how many wins for LSU now that the roster's taking shape? Again, ask me after the roster's set. Do you think Peyton Manning could be a coach? No. I don't think he will be. When you got that much money, you don't want to go be a coach. He could be in the front office, and we can own a team. He's got to coach a team. That's interesting. So Troy Bieniemy said Deshaun Watson wants to play for Eric. Well, if Deshaun Watson, I'll put it this way. If Deshaun Watson had all of his legal stuff cleared, okay, you can clear all the legal stuff, and you could get Deshaun Watson in New Orleans. Now, you'd have to give up a ass load of picks for him and probably some starting players too. But if you could get Deshaun Watson, Eric Bieniemy in New Orleans, I would do that deal. Because I think Dennis Allen could win and could maintain culture and all that sort of stuff. But without a starting quarterback, you're not winning a Super Bowl. I mean, just look at what's happening right now. I mean, yes, you could look at the 49ers and say Jimmy G. But, I mean, Jimmy G's been to a Super Bowl. I think he certainly has his flaws. He's the least of the quarterbacks remaining in the Final Four. But there's no coincidence. I mean, it's not a coincidence that Mahomes and Burrow and look at what we saw with Josh Allen this past weekend. I mean, Brady. You got to have great quarterback play, man. It's why the Rams went all in on Stafford. You know, they knew they had a good roster, but they weren't getting there with Goff. So Tom Brady's record against the Saints is a buck is 1-4, except the one is the one we all wanted the most. Dan Keel, could you show us some of the most expensive bourbons in your collection? Okay. You really want to see? Well, maybe I can just point the camera up there. Let's see, that was, I think that was a YouTube question asking, wasn't it? Oh, crap. So, I'll have to turn this and kind of like angle you up there so you can see. All right, and then Facebook, I'll show you too. I don't know that y'all actually care, but I'll show you. So, we've got, that's Michter's 10-year rye, Whistle Pig Boss Hog, Old Carter, Kentucky Owl 11-year rye, Sweet and Scone, that's Peyton Manning's. That's Van Winkle 12-year, that's Rip 10, so it's Van Winkle 10-year. Handy, that's a BTAC, Old Forester birthday. I got 2 of the 4 roses, small batch. Weller CYPB. I mean, these are all really good. They're very rare. They're not as expensive. Those are more expensive. That probably doesn't mean much to many of you, so sorry. Sorry, not sorry. All right, let's see if we're just about done here, y'all. What time is it? Gotta be like 11 o'clock, huh? Smash that like button. Appreciate y'all for watching, hanging out with us here. It's been a good night. Let's see. All right. Brandon, Will Wade will get an extension. Will Wade ain't getting an extension, y'all. Not until they figure out all this NCAA stuff. Y'all got to remember that, man. When Will was suspended and then they reinstated him, they reworded his contract where if LSU gets an NOA, a notice of allegations, they could fire him for a cause and not owe him anything. So they're not going to extend him until the NCAA stuff is worked out. Rourke Steele, Matt, my favorite videos of the elevators with Drew. Thank you, Rourke. I appreciate that. Fun ways to spend our Saturdays, man. I love to see my little boy happy. All right, y'all. I think we're just about done. Quick reminder, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You, family member, friend, neighbor, co-worker, have a roof issue, give us a shout. We're local. We use local shingles, manufactured in the Shreveport Certainty plant. Louisiana company, Louisiana people, Louisiana shingles, HudcoRoofing.com. Michael Daigle, look, you said Coy Hill 600 and the CYPB is 1,000, but you're talking about secondary, and that's, I don't like, well, I mean, if you're just talking secondary, my Van Winkle Lot B is, you know, in that category too, but I'm not talking about secondary prices. And I would never pay a secondary price. It's just not worth it. Hudco Roofing, GameCoin, thegamecoin.net, first sports crypto with a purpose. Buy the dip, y'all. Here, let me not say buy the dip. Let me say this. Do your research. Learn about crypto. Learn about blockchain. Understand why it's Web 3.0, why it is here. And invest, if you choose to, in projects with good fundamentals. MyCleanLiving.net, pinned in both comments. This is the Air and Surface Pro that can purify up to 3,000 square feet air and surface pathogens, including the virus that causes COVID-19. So check it out. From that all the way down to the Pet Fresh Mobile, which is a plug-in in the wall, which can purify like 100 square feet. So if you got a mud room, a laundry room where you keep your pets and it stinks, got some odor, Boom, put that in there, knock out the odor. It also purify all the air around you. Great for your office at work, a little cubicle area, perfect. It's like $99. MyCleanLiving.net, MyCleanLiving.net. And my girl, Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. You got pain anywhere, she'll take care of you. I'm going to see her Friday. RestoredMotions.com, RestoredMotions.com. All right. Michael, that's not what they're worth, man. That's a secondary price that some idiot might be willing to pay, and I'll never pay that. Devin wants the Hudco. All right, one Hudco hustle on the way out.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364-1007.
All right, it's going to do it for us. Thank you for watching Nightcap with Scone. Not a companion show. We'll see you next time. Peace.